just had some lunch, and we thought we'd just take the opportunity just to have a bit of a rundown through the gear. So we'll have a quick look at what Justin's running. Just a real quick look, just so you've got a bit of an idea if you do decide to have a sort of a fish down the river. So what are you doing there, Just? So what's your sort of speed? You got the 3 rods?
Yeah, the 3 rods that we done in a previous video.
Yep.
The Miller rods I've chosen to bring. These are my 3 main setups. So we got the real big one for the large lures, like 200 mil if we decide to throw them.
Yep.
That's that 7'10" Dream Freak.
Yep.
Anyway, big heavy stick, plenty of hook set and power if you get the opportunity, but it hasn't happened this trip, but that's fine.
So what sort of reel are you running on that one there, mate?
300 size, big power handle job.
Yeah, okay.
They're the main 2 we're using. So I'm doing all me work. These are the workhorses.
Yep.
That's Cod Freak. Got a little tubby minnow on it at the moment. We're going to give a run because there's a lot of shallow timber up here.
Yep.
200 size reel. That one there, that's the one I got the metery on. That's the Ambush. Just an awesome stick. Got the 114 on that one 2 days ago.
Yeah.
And just had full control over the fish in this current. Just a ridiculously powerful rod. Obviously on the old Bassman Codman.
Yeah.
That's doing the job in the current here with I've just changed out the Colorado blade for a willow blade.
Yeah.
I'm just finding they just track perfectly true in this really fast current because there's a shit ton of flow in the river at the moment. It's very shallow, and this is just working a treat. So
what sort of line and lead are you running?
Yep.
Well, what do you suggest?
Well, like up here, you probably want to run, I think, like if you're talking PE, minimum 4 or 5. That one's PE 5. That's an Atomic Lines.
Yep.
PE 5. That's 70 pound.
Yeah.
And then 60 pound Daiwa Salt Eagle lead nylon. That is just silky smooth. That stuff. So we're running 60 pound leaders. That's the same. That's the same brand of line. The Atomic stuff. It's probably a 50 pound, I would say, or a PE 4.
Yeah.
A bit lighter stick though, and then that one's actually got suffix on it, 832 in the 50, which is a fair bit heavier. It's got a pretty good abrasion resistance with the 60 pound leader once again. So, you know, you got to set the hook pretty hard on these things if you do get a bite, otherwise you'll just miss them. As far as the lures go.
So with we've just obviously 4 days into our little boat camping trip down the Murray.
Yep.
So what do you recommend lures? Obviously, water's a lot different here,
Yeah.
A lot more shallow.
Yeah, it's very shallow. Like the river's dropping too, so we've lost about a foot out of the river since we've been here, which has made the fishing super tough yesterday because the river just kept dropping, but it's bottomed out now, and we've had a ridiculous morning. We stirred up 3 fish over a metre this morning.
Yeah.
I dropped one. I saw it. It was a big cod.
And I had the two-siders.
Grazza nearly got ripped out of the back of the boat on a tree frog.
Yeah.
Then he had a big one, easy over a metre, come right to the boat and just didn't actually get the lure. And then we just had a bunch of action from small fish after that.
Yeah.
So it's been a crazy morning. Dropped one on that this morning. See the teeth marks on the side there.
So you've had a bit of success on this lure. Stirred up a few fish over the last couple of days, hasn't it?
Yeah, just chucking it up, landing it up shallow, giving it a couple of twitches, and it actually rolls over like that.
Yeah.
It'll roll right up when you twitch it, so you're getting that flash coming off it and then just rolling it over lay downs. How that missed a fish, I got no idea. That's got upgraded BKKs. Still, cod had it in his mouth, still missed him. The Bassman spinnerbaits have been getting all the love for me. I caught 3 cod on that this morning.
And you made a couple of changes to that lure once again?
Yeah, just changed them out, the Colorado out for the willows to run in the current.
So that's the Codman.
Yeah, that's just a standard Bassman Codman 1 ounce.
Yep.
You need the 1 ounce head to sort of keep it going because as soon as these hit the water, the current just starts pushing.
Yep.
And with the big Colorados, they just turn over like that. But with the willow, and the little Colorado there, it just tracks like a bullet straight through the water.
So the biggest issue you had with like running spinnerbait, especially if you go too light, they just turn over, don't they?
Yeah, and it's only just due to the flow. So if we were fishing a pooled section of the river here, like not here, sorry, somewhere else like Mildura where it's a bit slower and that above a lock or something, you can run the Colorado blades just fine and the twin spins. But down here, the twins, they just pick up too much water in the current and they just don't get to where you need them.
So what are you going to be mindful on the retrieve of that one out? So it's sort of about making sure we run it pretty high.
Yeah, so I'm just chucking it in, hitting the water, sort of getting contact with the lure and just letting it go down a little bit, and then just sort of feathering it down through the logs and stuff. We are still getting a fair few snags, but just getting swept under too far. But most of them, like as we saw, Grazza will have the footage of when I got smashed by that metre 14. I just perfect cast in right on the upcurrent side of a laydown. It was only in 3 or 4 foot of water. Just kept it up high, just let it get below the log, just slow rolled it. Just kept it going nice down the thing, and I think about 2 metres into the retrieve, it just got absolutely monstered. That wasn't the one, I got another one. This is me number 2. But we're just mixing it up at the moment. It's gone a bit quiet, so we're just going to try a few different colours and just see if we can make something happen.
Cool. All right, so we thought we'd just take the opportunity to have a bit of a look at what I'm running. So very much similar to Justin, I've got an ambush 702, which is in the Miller rod. I'm running a Corrado 300 HG. For those guys that follow me videos, got a pretty, know that I love the Corrados, Shimano's. I've sort of been using those for a while now. Really good value for money options. So that's my heaviest stick in my arsenal. So I've been throwing a few big heavy spinnerbaits, some real heavy sort of surface lures. Once again, yeah, this is a really good rod for when you do hook up those really big fish, to be able to just, you know, lock up your drag and actually drag them out of that danger timber. So that's the heaviest one. I've recently, I like a bit of lighter gear. I'm running the Wilson Blade and Tails rod in the 6'8", in the 20 to 40 pound. I've only just sort of recently, I brought one of these quite some time ago, sort of really, I used to use the Shimano Raider rods, but I found up here they just didn't quite have the backbone to be able to, you know, sort of rip a fish out of the danger spot, especially if you hook those really good ones. I actually got my metery on this for this trip. So, and I found, and I hit that fish pretty close to the boat. As you know, when you hit those fish close to the boat, they really take some effort to turn them around. So yeah, so this is the Blade and Tails. I've the Corrado 200 on this one, and also exactly the same rod, but I've got a 300 on this. And the reason why I sort of went the 2 and the 3 is for the 300, I can just throw something a little bit heavier. If I want to throw that sort of 1 ounce spinnerbait, you know, something a little bit heavier, I've got that option. I know that I've got that reel that can work for me. Very much like Justin, I'm running, I've got a mix of line, but as a rule, I'm sort of that 50 to 60 pound braid. Yeah, running that sort of 50 to 60 pound leader, and that's sort of, yeah, my setup. But just to give you a bit of an idea, we've sort of been working a bit of tandem, Justin and I, for this trip. He's sort of been running you would have seen the spinnerbaits, and, you know, a few different sort of hard bodies. I've been running the old mates. I've sort of stuck with this only because I got a metery in the sort of first 24 hours. But what I've done is I've actually sort of been working out colours and what sort of colours have been working well. So that's sort of your natural sort of red fin colour. But the one that sort of arced things up a little bit has been the tree frog. Pretty common sort of old mate lure. Obviously these are exclusive to Trelly's, and yeah, and that's the tree frog, just absolute dynamite. Really good lure to use. We found today, I had some massive follows on this. A fish absolutely smashed it first thing this morning. Just really interesting, you know, it's not the size lure that you would normally go to chasing big fish, but you know, after getting one in the first 24 hours, smacking that one this morning that I just didn't quite get to the boat, sort of really confident flicking this around. And the other thing I like about it is you just don't get tied up in timber. You're not getting those snags, especially drifting down with the current, and it actually casts really well through the air. So anyway, that's the gear that us and Justin have sort of been using. So if you're keen to find out a little bit more about Miller rods and some of the Bassman options you've got with lures, yeah, just make sure you check out this video just here, and it just goes in a little bit more depth about that gear.